Dr. B. Fox, and I help accomplished women to elevate their inner being, optimize their energy, and align their inner game with the outer world they have worked so stinking hard to achieve so that they can show up as their truest, most authentic version of themselves, living life completely undefined by the things that have happened to them that are weighing them down and holding them back. So today, I want to tell you to stop sitting in the now and start thinking about that feeling after. Okay? Start thinking about the feeling after. And what I mean by that is we literally can get into anything. We can get into like, I'm too tired, I don't want to have sex. We can get into, I don't want to eat the salad, the coffee cake and donut sounds really good. We could get into the work that you put in at night when you come home. I mean, we can literally get into anything with this thought process, okay? So what I mean by don't sit in the now is, in the now, what you're feeling is simply feelings. I'm exhausted, I don't feel good, I've had a long day, I don't want to move my body, I'm dehydrated. All I want is that glass of wine when I get home to numb and unwind. Whatever it is, that feeling right now, how you feel right now, I want you to start to get out of that, especially if it's negative. If it's positive, girl, that's a whole nother topic, right? But if it's negative, if it's just weighing you down and sluggish, I want you to start thinking about what it would feel like after that thing, okay? So what it would feel like if I'm too tired, my husband's initiating some intimacy, and I am just like, oh my gosh, the kids have been pulling on me all day. I'm doing homeschooling, and I'm at work, and I'm on the computer, and I'm doing all these things, and then I had to go exercise because I got to keep my body right and all these things. And last thing I want to do is spend time being intimate. Last thing I want to do is shower and get naked right now. I just want to go to bed, or I just want to be alone, right? So instead of going into that thought of like, right now I'm tired, I don't feel good, I just ate, like that's not good, I need to do all of this work for this to happen, right? What I want you guys to think about is, how does it feel after? How does it feel after you've been intimate with your husband? How does it feel after you've had that release? After you've been able to just erase the day, forget about the day, and just deeply connect with your other person, right? Or if we bring it into food, okay? I get home from a 12-hour day and I'm exhausted. Last thing I want to do is pick the healthy salad, right? I want that quick source of energy. I'm going for the coffee cake, the donut. I'm eating whatever I can find. I'm stopping at the drive-thru. Don't care. I just don't care anymore, right? And so I want you guys to think about, rather than the just don't care feeling, no, you totally care. You totally care, but in that moment, you're so stuck in the feeling of that moment that this is where this technique and this practice is really helpful. This allows you to say, okay, when I'm done with the drive-thru, how do I feel? I feel gross. I feel heavy. I feel bogged down. I feel saturated in fat. I feel guilty that I've once again succumbed to the emotion of right now and chosen the thing that ultimately doesn't lift me up, ultimately doesn't nourish my body, right? Rather than you're driving home, it's been a super long day, you know you got chicken, sweet potatoes, and green beans in the refrigerator that you cooked earlier in the week, and they're waiting for you. All you gotta do is heat them up. But rather than thinking about that, you're like, oh, the drive-thru is so much quicker, right? So I want you to really think about, okay, I have a choice here. We always have a choice. And I can either go through the drive-thru and go down that rabbit hole of the way I feel after I eat that. I feel guilty. I did it again. I'll start the diet again tomorrow. Two, you know what? Heck yeah, girl. I made a choice that's difficult, especially after a long day. I made the choice that's hard, And I made the choice to go home and heat up that food that I prepared earlier in the week so that in moments of weakness, I could have something to turn to that's healthy, okay? So thinking of, especially when it comes to food, how do I want to feel in an hour? How do I want to feel tomorrow morning when I wake up? Because if you're like me, yeah, raise your hand now, you guys. I literally have had those nights where it's like 9:30, close to 10, and it is like time for bed, and I cave. And I overeat, I have the sweets, I eat the things that just aren't healthy and aren't nourishing to my body. And I wake up the morning and I am like, the next morning, and I am literally like bags under the eyes. I feel miserable, I feel guilty. Let's be honest, I hate myself for going down that rabbit hole again. Yeah, amen if you hear me, right? So I want you guys to think about the feeling after being intimate and connected to your other person, the feeling after choosing the healthy food and nourishing your body, okay? The feeling after not having that next drink and staying to just one, okay? Not in the moment how you feel, not that emotion and that energy in this moment, because we've all had it, we're exhausted. We're doing all the things, okay? And most of us are dehydrated, which adds fuel to the fire. Okay, so really want you to take the time and just deep breath, F-bomb number 4, deep breath, F-bomb number 1, make sure you're drinking your water, and turn to, what will it feel like an hour from now? What will it feel like tomorrow morning when I wake up? How will I feel when I continue to nourish my body and move in the direction that's healthy for me, that empowers me, that allows me to know that I can do it? Okay, so you see where that positive cycle goes versus the guilt and the shame of I did it again, and I'll start the diet tomorrow, and I'll do better tomorrow, and I'll have sex with my husband next week, whatever that is, right? So I want you to really think about and focus on, it's almost like you're running that half marathon, never run one, but I've thought about it many of times. And you'd think with my old soccer days that like running would be my thing, but this girl doesn't really love to run long distance. So anyway, so you're running that half marathon, okay? You're running, you're on like mile 11. And a half marathon's 13.2, right? I think so, 13.2. And you're running, and you're running, and you are literally like, you can taste the finish line. It's only a few more miles, and you are beat. Your legs hurt, your feet are burning, your lungs are tired, your body is tired. You just literally want to sit down. What do? Do you sit down and just end the race right there and not complete it? Or do you buckle down and keep going at any pace and get through that finish line? You can taste it, you can smell it, you can see it. You know what that finish line looks like. And that's what I want you guys to do, is I want you to bring it back no matter the situation. Maybe it's an argument with your kid. Maybe it's a friend that has said some hurtful things to you. And instead of responding, I want you to think about what this feels like in an hour, what this feels like tomorrow. And I want you to sit with that for a minute and then make the decision that's best for you. But if we impulsively make the decision based on how we feel right now, then we continue to live in kind of this negative zone of like feeling guilty, feeling shame, wishing we could, thinking that would be nice, and just getting stuck. Ultimately, we get stuck in that rut. And so I really want you guys to put into practice to start taking this and moving it into the direction of, if I ate this extra package of crackers right now, would I want to have sex in an hour? My belly's full, I don't feel good, I feel awful. Last thing I want to do is be naked and have to do that. Do I want to feel good tomorrow? Do I want to be intimate with my spouse? Well then, girl, I'm not eating those crackers, whatever that is, right? So I really want you to take that practice and put it into play, really focusing on how it feels later, okay? Get out of the now, how it feels later. And as you start to build up that momentum, you'll continue to move in that positive direction, and the choices in that positive direction actually become easier because you know what it feels like over here. Whereas right now, maybe all you know what it feels like is over here, And so that's just, it's easier. It's like you want to lose weight, or you want to be intimate, you want to do these things, but at the end of the day, it's just more comfortable because you know it and whatever. I want you to start putting into practice, coming over here and saying, I want to feel better tomorrow. I want to feel like I'm nourishing my body and taking care of myself. I want deep connection with my other person. So therefore, I'm going to choose according to what that looks like, because I want that feeling in an hour. I want that feeling tomorrow. Okay, does that make sense? So I want you guys to just start putting that into play, and that can go for literally everything in your life. That could be getting up 10 minutes earlier so that you don't feel rushed to get to work, get all the kids ready, and all the things. That could be you go to bed a little bit earlier so you have more energy in the morning. That could be you drink more water and you just figure out those things that are going to continue to nourish you, that make you feel better on and on and on. And so then you're turning the dial that way versus staying stuck in the rut over here. Okay? So start working on turning that dial, moving in that positive direction. It is a practice, so it takes time. It takes effort at first. And I promise you, the more and more you work on it and put it into practice, the easier it gets. So much love to you. Happy sailing in the positive direction. See you guys later.